What is going on, everybody? PintSizeAnalyze here, and in this podcast episode, I am going to be discussing the Seattle Mariners' recent team performance, the hot hitting stretch of June for Mitch Garver, the health status of Andres Munoz, the roster status with an open 40-man spot, some potential in-house or in-organization bullpen help that the Mariners could get later in the year in Logan Evans and Troy Taylor. I'm going to be doing a Brian Wu health update. I'm going to be making the case for why I believe Emerson Hancock should be shut down, and I'm going to be doing a Rangers series preview. So let's get into all of that starting now. So the first thing that I would like to do in this episode is I want to talk about the recent performance of Mitch Garver, he was signed by the Mariners to be the everyday designated hitter last December and really has struggled through the first 2 months of the season. He only hit about 5 home runs and was batting under 200. Yeah, he's still batting 173 at also a sub 300 on base percentage. But in the past few weeks, past week or so, he's really started to turn around. He had a game the other day in Oakland where he kind of single-handedly won it for the Mariners. So I'm going to start. I just want to look at his numbers since, let's say, June 1st. It's obviously a small sample size, but even in the at-bats where he's not getting hits, he also just is starting to look a lot more competitive in general. So yeah, he has got a 142 WRC plus this month. So that is great. So he's got a 142 WRC plus this month. That's great. The at-bats have looked a lot more consistent, like he's not overly matched. He's actually walking an identical 19% as he is striking out. He's got a 206 batting average, which is kind of, not great. And I do think that will increase. So he's got the 357 on base percentage, 471 slug, so that's also really great. 364 WOBA and 42 plate appearances. So yeah, it's a small sample size. He's also got 2 home runs, 3 doubles, and 7 hits. So yeah, mostly hitting for extra bases as well, 9 RBIs. But yeah, it looks like the at-bats have just, they're looking a lot more competitive again, which is a great sign. And a really big boost for the lineup because the Mariners signed Mitch Garver expecting him to be, maybe not the 140 WRC plus bat that he was in his first year in T-Mobile like he was last year, but at least a 120 or 115 WRC plus bat. And one thing that has been important for Garver is that he has been available essentially every day or almost every day so far this year, which health was a big concern for him in the past. So that's good that he's been able to stay healthy so far. And hopefully he's kind of getting into a better rhythm at the plate and has a better idea what he's doing. His K rate is still up almost 6% over last year, which is an unfortunate thing. He's struck out a career 26%. He's at 29% now. So I would expect it to maybe go down a few points as well. And I think if it does, that will also be another sign that he's going in the right direction. And then the next thing is, I'll talk overall team performance. I'll just kind of give a quick rundown, though. So last week in Kansas City, the Mariners on Friday got out to a 7-0 lead. They unfortunately ended up blowing the game. They lost 10-9, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, the final score ended up being 10-9 to the Royals. And then on Saturday, it was again, they had like a lead in the middle point of the game, I believe in like the top of the 5th, but then immediately gave it up in the bottom of the 6th, and it was only like a 2-1 lead. They lost that game, and then Sunday they blew the lead in the bottom of the 9th, and then almost blew the lead in the bottom of the 10th, but were able to win 6-5. So they lost that series in Kansas City. Kansas City's been playing great, and it is unfortunate that they lost that game, but it's not that big of a deal to lose the series. As it's also only the 4th series that they have lost in a 2-month stretch, going back to mid-April. I believe they've only lost 4 series since they swept the Reds. And then if we talk about the next thing, which was this recent series against the White Sox, they won 3 out of 4, which was kind of necessary. I wanted them to win 3 out of 4. They almost won last night. Julio had a game-tying home run in the bottom of the 9th, which was good to see. He's still not been hitting very great, though. Still mostly hitting for singles, not really hitting for power, and having the slug impact that you would hope for from Julio, but yeah, it's still good. I mean, he's timed up, it was like a 99 98.9 mile an hour fastball from Garrett Crochet that he sent the other way, 109, and he hit that Mason Miller fastball the other day that was 102 a few weeks ago. So he's somehow actually been catching up to velo, but still those are his only 2 recent home runs. And then let's go to the status of Andres Munoz. So the Mariners lost last night, and Andres Munoz pitched, which it's a good sign that he pitched, but and that he was available in the first place. But it's really unfortunate that they lost because in a game where he pitches, you really, really hope to win, just because every inning that you can get out of him is extremely valuable. He's been dealing with a back issue, and then there was that collision in Oakland. He's avoided an injured list stint. Which is good, but he still has not been available every day. And there will be times where he doesn't pitch for 2 days in a row, and he's still not been available. He pitched last night, which again is really unfortunate that they didn't get the win, because you maybe would have preferred to give him another day off, and then he could have maybe pitched for 2 games in this Texas series, which I doubt they would have him throw. That could still be possible if he doesn't throw tonight, and then felt well enough to throw Saturday and Sunday or something like that. But we'll see. Hopefully he's available though for at least one of the games on Sunday this weekend. But yeah, hopefully he's able to avoid an injury list stint, which it looks like he will be able to, as the Mariners bullpen has just been kind of struggling. They're kind of cycling through relievers, and they brought in a guy named Matt Bowman. He only pitched an inning. He was released. They called up Brett DeGeis only for a day before he was optioned back. Cody Bolton and Colin Snyder, who they both started on the opening day roster, but they've kind of been or right around there. I think one of them maybe both, but Bolton was optioned to Tacoma for Colin Snyder. So, and I'm sure that this kind of thing will probably continue the roster shuffle as they're just trying to get fresh arms to throw innings. They also do have an open 40-man spot though, as I believe it was Eduardo Salazar, who was just recently claimed by the Mariners, was claimed by the Nationals yesterday, so they now have 39 spots on the 40-man. They could claim anybody at any time who's been designated for assignment or whatever, but they could also, I have seen some people mention that it could go to Logan Evans, that open 40-man spot, although I would believe that would, even though it's only, it might only be a few weeks before Logan Evans is ready, I still think it's kind of weird that they would operate with just a 39-man roster, or a not completely full 40-man during the season, especially when they're having a reliever shortage. I could see them, claiming a DFA reliever and hoping to get a few innings out of him before that happens. But then I also wanted to mention Troy Taylor. So we know about Logan Evans, who's now a Baseball America Top 100 prospect, but I wanted to talk about Troy Taylor because he has also had an interesting season. And a little background on him: he was the 12th round pick, I believe, out of the Mariners, or out of University of California, Irvine. Yes, he was the 12th round pick in 2022. Pick number 366 overall. And he has started this year. He started last year by pitching in Modesto, was not very good, but, okay, had a 4.11 ERA in 35 innings. And then he was promoted to Everett near the end of the year and was lights out, .087 ERA in 10 innings. And then came into the spring. Again, lights out. He throws 95 mile an hour sinkers, and he has an 85 mile an hour sweeper that's kind of filthy too. That gets 10 to 12 inches of horizontal break. So I think it's a major league quality stuff. And he started the year in high A, pitched 12 innings there, was their closer, pitched in 5 games, got 5 saves, or pitched in 11 games, got 5 saves, 1.50 ERA. And then he and then he was promoted to Double-A Arkansas, which is, again, just one stop away. He's walking, or only striking out 18% of batters and has walked 11%, which is not very good, but has a 3.39 FIP, and I believe he was 6 for 6 in his first 6 save opportunities, as well as having a 0.0 ERA. He's given up runs in his last 2 appearances, but it's major league stuff, and he's consistently struck out people before, so hopefully he can get that, K rate up to, 26 or something like that percent, and walk rate maybe down a few percentage points, and he should be major league ready. And Troy Taylor, I definitely think Logan Evans will be called up before Troy Taylor. But yeah, let's check on Logan Evans, who is also, as we know, has been switched to the bullpen with a call-up being imminent. So yeah, let's go. Logan Evans has now pitched in 3 games out of the bullpen, I believe. It's saying 55 innings pitched total. Okay, so yeah, and there also has been some talk that he could be a multi-inning reliever. But so for the first appearance, he faced 10 total batters. He gave up 2 hits, including 1 run. That was not earned, though. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 1 strikeout. And then that was on the 4th of June, so 10 days ago. And then on the 8th of June, he pitched a scoreless inning. Gave up 1 hit and had a wild pitch, but also struck out 2. And then coming back, he pitched on 6/11, so that would have been Tuesday against the Dodgers. Gave up or had a scoreless inning, 1, 2, 3, had a strikeout. So yeah, so far he's only pitched 4 bullpen innings. The results haven't been very great, but he's given up like 3 hits, but it's been 4 innings. So who really cares? Still 4 strikeouts in 4 innings. I think a big thing for him was they wanted to see if like the stuff was going to definitively tick up. So he's been 90, 93, 97, or maybe 94, 96 is a better, more accurate representation of what his velo's been at this year. But with the occasional 1 inning, or occasionally, actually a lot of times when a pitcher transitions to 1 inning, their stuff will really tick up because they're only throwing 9, 15 or 9, 12 pitches versus 80 or 100. So that velo can go from 94 to 96 to sometimes even 96 to 98 or 96 to 97, 99, 97, 99. They can start sitting there, and maybe the slider ticks up a few ticks as well and has some more bite to it. So I think one thing to look out for with Logan Evans was his stuff going to tick up, and if it does noticeably tick up, that will only that's only exciting for his potential as a lockdown reliever. But if he is able to go multiple innings and give the Mariners multiple innings, that's huge. He's only had 55 innings pitched in the season. Let's go to his baseball reference really quick. Not Logan Paul. Baseball reference. Okay. Let's see how many innings he threw last year. I believe he threw some summer league innings as well, so along with the innings that he threw at Pitt. So let's see, 2023, he threw 49 innings pitched. So yeah, he threw basically a little over the amount of innings that he's thrown right now in his college season last year, and then he threw 14 for the Born Braves in the Cape Cod League. So yeah, he threw 60 innings last year. He's nearing what he'll surpass, but I would not be surprised if he's in the majors before he surpasses the 66 or 65 innings that he threw last year. Yeah, he'll be only throwing 1 inning or 1 to 2 innings at a time now, so that should also definitely help. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was Brian Wu. So Brian Wu had another health scare where he unfortunately after his most recent start against, that would have been the Oakland Athletics on June 5th, I believe, or something like that. On June 6th, let's get the exact game log right here. Okay, yeah, so it was June 6th. He went 6 scoreless that outing. It was his 4th straight outing of going 6 innings or more. He gave up only 2 hits, 0 runs, 0 earned, 0 walked, 6 strikeouts. He was dominant. Second best start of the season by game score behind the start in New York, and only by 1 point. So yeah, he's really been great so far this season. But the kind of frustrating thing was that, and this has been kind of talked about a good amount so far, he's had some trouble bouncing back, like with his arm. His elbow has been kind of sore in between starts, and he's not thrown a bullpen. He did it, I believe, in between the Nationals and Los Angeles start, or maybe it was between the Los Angeles and Oakland start. He was feeling well enough to throw the regular, 10 pitches that they do in between starts. I'm not sure if that's like 2 or 3 days after they throw, but it's regular protocol for the Mariners starters to do that. He unfortunately was not able to do that, so that's kind of scary. But the good part about that is his start was skipped on Tuesday. I actually was able to attend that game. It was my 3rd game of the year. I got to go with some of 3 of my closest friends. It was a great experience. We had some of I think the closest seats I've ever sat, and I was really, really excited. Also, Drew Thorpe was legit filthy. That changeup is crazy. But yeah, I was really, really excited to see Wu because he is my favorite pitcher, and he unfortunately was skipped that day. Jonathan Diaz ended up coming in, and the Mariners ended up winning that game. But Jonathan Diaz had a perfectly viable spot start. He pitched in the 6th, only giving up 3 hits, including like 2 solo homers. So I wasn't really that concerned. But I really was concerned about Wu, and he had an MRI scheduled the next day. So, and he had an MRI. If you remember when he was shut down before the regular season started, he had an MRI. There was no structural damage. Again, he had another MRI. No structural damage. He will be inserted into the rotation again soon, either in, I believe, at his next turn. And they also wanted to give the starters another extra day of rest yesterday when Emerson Hancock pitched, which I'm going to be talking about now. I am of the opinion that Emerson Hancock needs to be shut down probably soon. He was optioned back to AAA, and he's optioned back to AAA. After last night's start, where he's actually been pitching very well in the PCL somehow. If we go to here, so we'll see he has 29 major league innings, or 29 AA innings, and then 41 major league innings. He's made 5 starts, not AA, 29 AAA innings, 41 major league innings, 5 starts at AAA, 8 starts in MLB, 13 total, and he's at 7 innings pitched. Emerson Hancock threw 110 innings last year. He threw 98 the year before, and he threw about 45 the year before. So I am starting to think that Emerson Hancock, so he threw 110 last year. He's thrown 7 innings pitched so far. We're in mid-June. If the Mariners are going to rely on Hancock for 6 to 9 starts and 35 to 45 innings pitched, we'll say, for the later part of the year, I think that he's at 7 innings pitched right now. He's had a lot of health concerns before. I think that it might be wise to shut him down for a month at AAA. He can resume throwing in July. Again, he's not had any injuries, so it might be a little bit. It might seem ridiculous to just shut him down, but he has not had any injuries. But he has a very noted injury history. It's kind of turned him into the pitcher he is today. His stuff used to be used to have some more, it used to be like a lot nastier, but, and he's lost velo. So I think it would make sense to just shut him down for a month, and in order to be able to count on him for potential major league innings, which they might need to if, Bryce Miller or Brian Wu or whoever, needs a month on the IL in August or September. And I think that Emerson Hancock is a perfect 6 starter. He's very helpful in that role, but I think he's with his injury history and that kind of thing. I think it would be wise to consider shutting him down now and just letting him kind of rest up for a little bit, just so you can actually count on him for those innings again later in the year. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the Texas Rangers series preview. I'll get into that. So, let's go to Baseball Savant. And I believe we have the lineups for both teams today. It will be Andrew Heaney against Luis Castillo. Okay, the Mariners, unfortunately, the Rangers are not really still lined up, but we have the Mariners. So, J.P. Crawford leading off, Haniger second, Julio third, Mitch Garver fourth, Cal Raleigh fifth, Dylan Moore sixth, Tyler Locklear seventh, Victor Robles eighth, Ryan Bliss ninth. So, this is like the regular lefty platoon lineup now, or lefty hitting lineup. It is a bit interesting to see Haniger hitting second, but he's been hitting a little bit better recently. JP has also really turned it on. JP is looking like JP again. He's hit some homers recently. He's working counts like beautifully as JP does, like just never really seems to give a plate appearance away. Oh, also congratulations to Tyler Locklear on his first major league hit last night. Tyler Locklear, who is a Baseball America Top 100 prospect, has made his major league debut with the Mariners. He has hit kind of well so far. Let's see. It's obviously been only 17 plate appearances, but yeah, he's got 129 WRC plus so far. 250 batting average, 294 on base. I'm not sure how that's happening because he has a 0% walk percentage and a 500 slug, but he is striking out 35% of the time. So yeah, it's kind of been a interesting debut for Locklear. He's 23 years old. He does not look 23. He looks like 27, and that's what they're talking about on the Just Baseball show, or on the call-up by the Just Baseball guys. Shout out to Aram and Jack. But yeah, they're talking about that. Tyler Locklear does not look 23. He looks like 29. He'll likely be optioned back to AAA, though, once Ty France is back. France will be back, likely, despite having a minor heel fracture, which I was talking to my mom, and she knows a little bit about orthopedics and stuff like that, and I just said oh yeah, France has a minor heel fracture, and she was like, oh no, that means he'll almost guaranteed be out for the rest of the year, right? Well, no, he's likely only going to spend the minimum of 10 days on the injured list, so that's really kind of a blessing that Ty France will be back as soon as he is, considering when you think about a minor heel fracture, a heel fracture still does not, that sounds like it would likely be season ending. So then, Locklear, though, will likely be optioned back to AAA, where in 48 plate appearances and 10 games at Tacoma, he was slugging 300, 417, 475 for a 157 WRC plus, 12% walk percentage. Oh no, I'm looking at AA. Okay. Well, actually, no, wait. It was a 129 WRC plus. Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say 291, 40, or 417, or 300, 417, 475 is a great slug line or slash line. But I was like, that does not seem like it would be a 157 WRC plus in the PCL. It's not. It's a 129. Still over a 900 or almost 900 OPS though, 888 or something like that. What is it? 892 OPS. So yeah, 892 OPS to AAA. 12% walk percentage, which is great. Same as what it was at AA. So Locklear has consistently been walking in the upper minors so far this year. 26% K percentage at AA, 22 in AAA. So he's probably going to strike out. It'll probably be in the 29 to 28% at the major league level. I would not be surprised if it is in that area. But so far, the power's looking good. He's also made some kind of good plays at first. He's not first base defense doesn't really have a game breaking impact, but it's not been terrible. Also Victor Robles, who's one of the newest Mariners. Shout out to Victor Robles. Garrett Crochet was filthy last night, and Victor Robles had two very, very respectable at bats, and the outcomes were not great. But he had let's see. Let's go to exit velo. So Victor Robles had a 107 double that was barreled off of Michael Kopech. That would have been a home run in two ballparks at Wrigley Field and Citi Field, and that was in the fourth or something like that. And then in the seventh or eighth, he had a 108.9, 109. We'll call it 109. 18-degree launch angle, 343 foot. Again, barrel off of Garrett Crochet. So he was actually having really, really great ABs. And if Victor Robles performs like that regularly in the platoon role, that will be great news for the Mariners. Let's see. He had I think he had his other AB was a strikeout, but yeah, to get two barrels, he was literally hitting him. He was hitting Crochet the best of any Mariner last night. Julio ended up getting that home run in the bottom of the ninth to tie it as well. But yeah, those were the actually Garver had a barrel. But yeah, those were the only two Mariners barrels off of Crochet for I think a while. Yeah, because Robles had that in the seventh, and then in the third it was a double. Okay, so he had the double in the third and the line out in the seventh, and then Garver I think had the fly out Garver had the barreled flat the inning before. But yeah, 2 of the 3 Mariners barrels last night against Crochet were by Victor Robles, who has been hitting well as a Mariner. So, Victor Robles, shout out to you. Bliss also, okay, let's go to Bliss. Ryan Bliss has kind of been struggling, but he's still a fun player. It's been kind of a small major league sample size, but I think he will be staying on the roster. I do not think he'll be optioned back once France or whoever is comes off the IL. So, okay, Ryan Bliss slashing 176, 263, 265. So yeah, like a little over 550 OPS or whatever. That's not great. But I feel like that kind of doesn't paint the full picture. Well, I mean, he's been good. He's been really, really good defensively. Made some great plays. Only 61 WRC plus, but yeah, 30% strikeout rate also isn't great. But yeah, he hasn't looked entirely overmatched. He also didn't chase a pitch for his first 13 or 14 that he saw. So yeah, I mean, I've been generally also a huge thing for Bliss is that he let's go to his Savant page, but he's actually consistently been getting into his top end exit velos, which are 106 to 107. And if he's consistently getting into those exit velos, it only bodes well for him as an everyday player. And it looks like he kind of has been, so that's good. He's only had 4 or 5 hits, I think. Also had a few hits where he's beaten it out. He does have plus speed and can steal the base, so he's a valuable base runner. That's good. But yeah, only 299 xWOBA, 50% hard hit rate, which is kind of insane. 15.5% chase percentage, which is legitimately elite. Does whiff a fair amount, strikes out a bit. But yeah, that chase percentage has been legitimately elite. If we go to the max exit velo of 107, only had 1 barrel, 24 batted balls, average exit velo of 87.8. Okay, I don't know. I unless I go through search, which will take a long time and be really bad for my laptop. Well, not bad, but just would take forever. I don't think I'll be able to see it. But yeah, he's been consistently getting in the 105 plus exit velos, which he's going to need to do to be an everyday player or to be a regular major leaguer. Consistently getting that 105 exit velo. But the bat speed again is not even that bad for somebody of his size and his frame. Okay, the next thing, the Rangers series preview. Let's get back into that. So the Mariners will face Andrew Heaney today, and then they will face... Let's open up the MLB website. Also, I'll close these. Okay, so it's Andrew Heaney against Luis Castillo today, and then tomorrow... Also, the Mariners had Hancock start yesterday to help to push everybody back for including this series. So tomorrow it will be George Kirby against Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi's been good so far, 2.68 ERA. Kirby's been kind of so-so this season, but was good his last time out. And then Sunday it will be Logan Gilbert, who's been excellent. Did not get run support his last start against Dane Dunning, who struggled so far this year. But yeah, it should be an exciting series. City Connect night tonight. It will be another hopefully beautiful weekend in the Pacific Northwest. I'm so excited. As I said, I think a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago, I'm done with high school. All those high school graduations and stuff are out of the way. I'm excited to make a lot of Mariners related content this summer. I'm going to be having some prospect things release. There's going to be lots of exciting stuff this summer related to Mariners baseball. And yeah, hopefully the most exciting thing being that, at the end of September, the Mariners clinch a division title. But yeah, I'll have content regarding the trade deadline and the draft. And I'm also excited for some draft content, which I'm going to be having soon as we get closer to the draft, a little less than a month away. But yeah, I'm just excited to dive into multiple levels and facets and areas of Mariners baseball and the Mariners organization as a whole this summer. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it, and have a great afternoon. Peace. Go Mariners.